What's up, branding experts? Arik here at eBay Design, and in this video we're gonna talk about how to use brand archetypes to define a brand's personality so that you can give your or your client's brand a character that makes it accessible and relatable to audiences who share the same values. Now, if you're new to this channel and you want actionable tips on branding, strategy and design, well then smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. My name is Arik Dvornichak, and at eBay Design my mission is to help people design iconic brands. Okay, so before we talk about each and every archetype, first let's quickly define what the archetypal framework actually is and where it comes from. So archetypes were a concept introduced by Carl Jung, who believed that they were models of people, behaviors and personalities. Archetypes, he suggested, were inborn tendencies that play a role in influencing human behavior. So basically we can identify ourselves with at least one core archetype, and they are successfully used in film, books and of course in branding. In branding, the archetypal framework helps us build human-like brand personas. So archetypes are actually the heartbeat of a brand because they convey a meaning that makes customers relate to a brand as if it was alive. They help you define a brand's personality in such a way that customers can develop a relationship with that brand and care about that brand as if it was a person. So brands who adapt the Carl Jung's archetypal framework become very successful at branding, and the best brand personas are forged by identifying solidly with one and only one core archetype. And this is very important, to not dilute your or your client's brand by trying to identify with too many archetypes. Remember, brands do best when they are explicit about one core archetype that is truest to their values, mission, vision, and of course the target audience. And then of course you can use some secondary archetypes for differentiation. So here, check out the 7th exercise of my brand strategy guide to better understand how to actually use the archetypal framework to define a brand's personality. Okay, so we have 12 archetypes divided into 4 sections that group them based on common desires. And now I will describe each archetype and give you 48 examples, 3 examples in branding and 1 example in film, so that you can relate and understand how to use those archetypes to define a brand's personality. Okay, so the first section is all about exploring spirituality, and you've got here innocent, sage and explorer, and they all have yearning for paradise. They want to be connected with the earth on a journey to know more about themselves and others. So starting with the innocent archetype. The innocent is a positive personality with an optimistic outlook on life, and their motto is free to be you and me. So the innocent also may be known as utopian, naive, mystic, saint, romantic, traditionalist or a dreamer. And Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump depicts the innocent character very well. And they often want to go back to nature and natural living. So they are honest and pure, and they have no ill will towards anyone. Ultimately, they want themselves and everyone else around them to be happy. So the innocent's core desire is to experience paradise, and they fear doing something wrong or bad that will provoke punishment. In branding, the innocent archetype is best for beauty, skincare and fresh food. Some of the famous brands that use the innocent archetype are Aveeno, Dove and Whole Foods. Aveeno and Dove are both skincare products that promote natural ingredients and simplicity, and they also adapt a simplistic persona that represents women more naturally. And Whole Foods is also about their natural organic food that have been untouched. Now the second archetype with the core desire to explore spirituality is sage. The sage is a seeker of truth, knowledge and wisdom, and their motto is their truth will set you free. And they are also known as expert, scholar, advisor, researcher, thinker, mentor and a teacher. They have a desire not only to understand the world but also share that understanding with others. So they are lifelong learners that enjoy expressing their knowledge or having philosophical conversations. And in film there is no character that personifies the sage better than Yoda in Star Wars. So the sage's core desire is the discovery of truth, and they fear ignorance and being duped and misled. And in branding, the sage archetype is best for news networks, schools, universities and consultancies. So the sage brand may aim to show the path to wisdom or to celebrate lifelong learning. So in order to connect with them, emphasize that education is the path to wisdom and wisdom is where the answers lie. And some of the famous brands that use the sage archetype are Google, CNN, and MIT. And Google has become the world's biggest online encyclopedia, essentially where answers and information to any topic in the world can be found in seconds. And although they rarely provide the answers themselves, they are the guide to their audience to find the answers that they need. Now, the third archetype with the core desire to explore spirituality is Explorer. The Explorer has the thirst for discovery and to connect with nature. And their motto is, you only get one life, so make it count. And the Explorer also may be known as the seeker, adventurer, wanderer, individualist, or rebel. So rugged environment is the one they feel most at home in. So they don't want to be fenced in, and they often feel the confines of modern life weighing on them. And a true explorer in film would be Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones. So the Explorer core desire is to find out who they are through exploring the world. And they fear getting trapped, conforming, inner emptiness, and non-being. And in branding, the Explorer archetype is best for auto, especially SUV, outdoor equipment, and adventure travel. So to resonate with an explorer, a brand might celebrate the journey or acknowledge the modern confinements of society. So brands communicating with an exciting, fearless, or daring voice will evoke these adventurous emotions. And famous brands that use the Explorer archetype are Jeep, Patagonia, and the North Face. And each of these brands celebrate the outdoors and evoke the desire of adventure within their audiences. Any outdoor activity such as camping, fishing, rock climbing, cave diving, etc. So promote the unknown as the land of the free and challenge them to explore it with your brand, of course. Okay, so the second section is all about leaving legacy, and we've got here the outlaw, magician, and hero. And they all want to leave a mark on the world. They want to make an impact and do something meaningful and be remembered. So let's start with the outlaw archetype. The outlaw has an enticement of forbidden fruit, and their motto is, rules are meant to be broken. And there are romantic figures ready to disrupt a society that has succumbed to tyranny, repression, conformity, or cynicism. And certainly we see the outlaw in the most positive form in figures like Robin Hood or Zorro, and in the most negative form, typical villains like in Superman or Batman, Lex Luthor, or the Joker. And the outlaw's core desire is for revenge or revolution, and they fear being powerless, trivialized, or inconsequential. And in branding, the outlaw archetype is best for auto and moto, construction, and body art. Some of the famous brands that use the outlaw archetype are Virgin, Harley Davidson, and Diesel Jeans. And Harley Davidson is the typical outlaw brand and probably the most focused archetypal personality that is out there. And they represent the outlaw persona to an absolute and appeal to the inner outlaw within their audience. So the next archetype with the core desire for leaving legacy is magician. The magician have dreams that other people see as impossible, and their motto is anything can happen. So magic is the technology for making dreams come true, and the magician can be known as the visionary, catalyst, innovator, charismatic leader, mediator, shaman, healer, or medicine man or woman. And sometimes the magic is just in the energy to persist. Witness the remarkable success of the Energizer Bunny, which seems magical because it keeps going and going and going. So magical brands include all those that foster magical moments, something that others see as impossible. And the magician's core desire is to make dreams come true, and they fear unanticipated negative consequences. So in branding, the magician archetype is best for entertainment, beauty, and health, and basically any brand that delivers some kind of element of mystery or mystique. Some of the famous brands that use the magician archetype are Disney, Sony, and MasterCard. And Disney is the typical brand when it comes to all things magical, and the opening credits for their movies have a special place in all of our hearts. Okay, so the last archetype with the core desire for leaving legacy is the hero. So the hero just wants to make the world a better place, and their motto is, where there is a will, there is a way. So everything seems lost, and then the hero rides over the hill and saves the day. So in every story, the hero triumphs over evil, adversity, or major challenge, and in so doing inspire all of us. So the hero wants to save the day and to prove their worth to themselves as well as everyone else. And they also make effort to rescue the victim or defend the underdog, and they're willing to work harder than everyone else to make it happen. So the hero's core desire is to prove one's worth through courageous action. and they fear weakness, vulnerability, or wimping out. So in branding, the hero archetype is best for sportswear, outdoor, and equipment. And some of the famous brands that use the hero archetype are, for example, Nike, Adidas, and FedEx. And Nike is the standout here when it comes to adopting a persona and committing to it. And they've been using many athletes in their advertising, from Michael Jordan to Serena Williams. And the association with these athletes tap into the determination of their audience. So Nike inspires people through the achievements of their brand ambassadors. Okay, so the third section is all about connecting to others. And we've got here lover, jester, and everyman. And they're all about having meaningful relationships with other people. So whether it is romance, on love, mother love, or belonging, they just want to be around people. So let's start with the lover archetype. So the lover is all about being in a relationship with people, the work, the experiences, surroundings they love. And their motto is, I only have eyes for you. So lovers may be known as partners, friends, intimates, matchmakers, enthusiasts, connoisseurs, sensualists, spouses, team builders, or harmonizers. And the lover archetype is also frequently used by filmmakers, and Marilyn Monroe personifies the lover in Some Like It Hot. And love pertains to all sorts of human love, from parental love to friendship to spiritual love, but it is most important to romantic love. So lovers' core desire is to attain intimacy and experience sensual pleasure, and they fear being alone, a wallflower, unwanted, and unloved. And in branding, the lover archetype is best for cosmetics, jewelry, and fashion. Any brand that implicitly promises beauty and sensual appeal is a lover brand. So famous brands that use the lover archetype are Chanel, Alfa Romeo, and Victoria's Secret. And Victoria's Secret is the most obvious example here. So their messaging is loaded with that sensuality, especially in their colors and imagery. Okay, so the next archetype with the core desire for connecting to others is the jester. And the jester is all about having fun and living life in the moment. And their motto is, if I can't dance, then I don't want to be a part of this revolution. So the jester may also be known as the fool, the trickster, joker, entertainment, clown, prankster, or a comedian, or basically anyone who loves to play or cut up. And in film, probably nobody plays the jester as well as Jim Carrey, an optimist that is able to see good in every situation. Jesters are young at heart, and they seem to never grow up or become serious. So the jester's core desire is to live in the moment with full enjoyment, and they fear boredom or being boring. So if you want to resonate with a jester, promote good times and make them laugh. And in branding, the jester archetype is best for confectionery, child entertainment, or beer brands. Everybody likes to laugh, so in general, having some jester personality can be a memorable point of differentiation. So if you are able to connect with your audience through happiness and laughter, you can become a much loved brand. So some of the famous brands that use the jester archetype are M&M's, Old Spice, and Geico. The jester and humor in general are go-to for many men's brands, especially if the brand is associated in any way with having a good time. Okay, so the last archetype with the core desire for connecting to others is the everyman. And the everyman demonstrates the virtues of simply being an ordinary person just like others. And their motto is, all people are created equal. So the everyman may also be known as the good old boy, the regular Joe, regular guy or gal, the common man, or the solid citizen next door. So in film, this archetype is probably best represented by Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness. They dress in ordinary clothes, even if they are quite wealthy, and they are easily put off by elitism in any form. And the everyman's core desire is to connect with others, and they want nothing more than just simply to belong. And they fear standing out or being rejected as a result. And in branding, the everyman archetype is best for home, family, everyday apparel, and family auto. Any brand that appeals to a humble man who strives for little more than a simple life. So in order to appeal to an everyman, you need to make them feel a sense of belonging. So be friendly and down to earth in communication that doesn't exclude anyone. And some of the famous brands that use the everyman archetype are IKEA, Target and Wendy's. So regular guy or gal brands almost always have down home, no nonsense quality to them that make them seem genuine. So these brands are usually affordable when it comes to pricing, and they just fill some basic needs. And they often fill a void in the market, and they tend to be entry level, low cost for most industries. Okay, so the last and fourth section is all about providing structure. And we've got here the caregiver, ruler, and creator. And they all want to provide structure to the world. So they desire to build something that wasn't there before in their own name or in the name of others. Okay, so let's start with the caregiver archetype. So caregiver has a selfless personality and is driven by the desire to protect and care for others. And their motto is love your neighbor as yourself. So the caregiver also may be known as caretaker, altruist, saint, parent, helper, or supporter. So they simply take those who are in need under their wings and until they are stronger and able to take care of themselves. And although they like their efforts to be recognized, they don't like to be patronized. And a good example in movie might be Robin Williams in Patch Adams. So the caregiver's core desire is to protect others from harm, and they fear selfishness and ingratitude. And in branding, the caregiver archetype is best for healthcare, non-profits, and education. So the character of the caregiver archetype is a perfect fit for brands that help those in need. Now, caregiver brands aim to make their customers feel secure, protected, and cared for. And some of the famous brands that use the caregiver archetype are, for example, UNICEF, WWF, and Tom's Shoes. And UNICEF and WWF are both non-for-profits, and they exist to help those in need, one for people and the other for wildlife. And although Tom's Shoes is a profitable brand, the business model is based around helping people because they provide a pair of shoes for everyone in need for every pair they sell. Okay, so the next archetype with the core desire for providing structure is the ruler. And the ruler knows that the best thing to do to avoid chaos is to take control. So their motto is power isn't everything, it's the only thing. So the ruler is the boss, the leader, the corporate CEO, the parent, role model, manager, or anyone with a commanding manner. And films are absolutely packed with lives and deaths of rulers, but few are celebrated as the character Don Corleone in The Godfather. So the ruler archetype desires control above all and is quite a dominant personality. So gaining and maintaining power is therefore a primary motivation. So their actions carry a sense of intimidation about them. So the ruler's core desire is to create a successful family, a company, or a community, and they fear chaos and being overthrown. And in branding, the ruler archetype is best for luxury cars, watches, and upscale hotels. So to resonate with a ruler, your brand should exert its leadership and demonstrate its superiority. A commanding, refined, and articulate brand voice would appeal to a ruler, as would messaging reaffirming their status. Some of the most famous brands that use the ruler archetype are Louis Vuitton, Mercedes, and Rolex. And these are three different industries, but each of these brands use imagery, language, and messaging that depict luxurious lifestyle. So the ruler brands tend to serve higher society and wealthier customers. Okay, and the last archetype with the desire to provide structure is the creator. And the creator archetype is seen in any endeavor that taps into the human imagination, and they have a passion for self-expression in material form. And their motto is, if it can be imagined, it can be created. So the creator may also be known as the artist, the designer, innovator, inventor, musician, writer, or a dreamer. And the creator always wants to create something new and original, something that wasn't there before. So they feel constant need to express themselves with their individual talent. They all have a vision and strive to bring that vision to life through their expression. So the creator's core desire is to create something of enduring value, and they fear having a mediocre vision or execution. And in branding, the creator archetype is best for art and design, technology, and marketing. So to appeal to a creator, you have to celebrate the creative process as well as inspire self-expression. And creator brands tend to have loyal followers because they often inspire their customers to be better creatives themselves. So some of the famous brands that use the creator archetype are are Lego, Apple, and Adobe. And I use all of those three brands every single day. Apple and Adobe I use throughout the day for work, and Lego I use with my nephew. Okay, so that's about it. We've discussed each archetype and I gave you some examples so that hopefully you understand now how to use this tool in branding. So if you want to build a brand that makes instant connection with your audience, choose an archetype they will be attracted to. It doesn't necessarily mean that you must have the exact same personality as your target, but rather the one that they are attracted to. So if you want to learn more and see more examples, check out the book The Hero and the Outlaw, link in the description. And if you want to build a brand the strategic way and define a brand's personality using the archetypal framework, then check out the 7th exercise of my strategy guide. So this is what Carl Jung discovered and believed in, that we as individuals can identify ourselves with at least one core archetype. Archetypes help us as brand builders instill humanity into brands so that they acquire a character and a human-like persona. And ultimately, brands who have defined their personality well are the ones that are so effective at branding. Do you have an idea of what kind of archetype can you potentially use for your brand? Leave a comment below. But anyways, I would love to hear from you about your experiences when it comes to defining a brand's personality. Have you used brand archetypes before? Do you have any challenges of identifying the archetype for your or your client's brand? Leave a comment below and I will do my best to answer all of those. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well to let you know when we've got new videos coming out. And then head over to ebekdesign.com/blog/brand-strategy and check out my new guide to brand strategy, because brand personality is just one component of building a strategic brand. But anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think. Until next time, this was Arek Dworniczak from Ebek Design.